Cleaning Nation, welcome to another episode of the Grow My Cleaning Company podcast. As always, I wanted to start by thanking you for sharing the show, for subscribing, rating, reviewing, thumbs upping, commenting, joining the Facebook group, going to our website, all the cool stuff that makes you amazing human beings. We give all the good stuff we can on the podcast here, on the YouTube channel. Subscribe to those, comment, engage, let us help you any way that we can. And of course, everything, the hub of the whole good stuff is at growmycleaningcompany.com. It's got everything we do to help you grow your cleaning company. Today, we are going to do our best to help out my new best friend, Derek Hart from Lynchburg Organic Cleaning. Lynchburg has been serving the Lynchburg, Virginia and surrounding areas with residential cleaning services for coming up on a decade. If you want to reach out to Derek and his team, you can hold them at www.lynchburgorganicCleaning.com. Derek, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you, man. So I got to tell you, I rarely get guys and gals that have been in the business 10 years, and rarely do I get guys that have been in the residential side 10 years. How on God's green earth did you find your way into our little universe?
Well, I started when I was in college. I needed something to do on the side for income, so I got started doing that in college. Met my wife along the way, and we ran the company outside of full-time jobs. I was in marketing and sales for a long time. My wife was in property management, and we would run this business on the side using college students to work for us for a while. A couple years ago, my wife left her corporate job to run the company full-time because we grew. And then when my wife got pregnant, I decided to leave my corporate job to run it full-time. And then now we've been running it together for probably the past year or so.
I love, because I coach a lot of people on how do I kind of move this part-time gig into a full-time deal. And I've found that's usually a big step forward. What was, if you're willing to share, what was that with you? What kind of growth did you have kind of it was just part-time and your chance versus when you actually went full-time and I won't say did this thing for real, but did you and your wife both did this full-time, nothing else?
I would say there's been times when either my wife was running the company herself and I was holding down a full-time job or vice versa. We kind of had this as a secondary income for a while. And then the primary income was the other person with a full-time W-2 job. And whenever circumstances would change and she got pregnant, I left my job. This became our full-time only source of income. And so it kind of got my full attention. It took my sales and marketing experience and just added value to the company, built a new website, started doing some marketing. And really this past year is really when we put the gas on because we needed to make it work. We had a new baby and it was our only source of income, full-time income. And so we really needed to make something work.
Well, I guess what I'm asking is what kind of results have you gotten since you've gone full-time? Like, has it been, I'm assuming you've had some sort of growth even when you're doing it part-time, but when you went full-time, did the growth just kind of continue as is? Did it explode? Better than you expected? Worse than you expected? What was, just because again, there's a lot of people listening, they're trying to, make that transition from part-time to full-time. So did that again, and give me an honest answer. I'm not looking for like the rah-rah answer, but with that change of crap, we really need to depend on this money or on this business that's got to make us money. Whereas before, I'm guessing it was just kind of fun and helpful. Did the growth skyrocket or just kind of stay the same or, talk to us?
It definitely went up. It didn't skyrocket because I didn't really get myself in situations where we were turning away business. So I'd say it increased to what we needed, but we still have room for growth for sure.
Okay, cool. So it kind of stepped up and fit the minimum bill of we need this much money per month to survive, but so far it hasn't gone past that yet.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, in that case, let's see if we can't take you to the next level. What's going on in your world that I can help you with today?
Yeah. So one of the things that we've been doing or haven't been doing is having some sort of a written list of expectations with our clients we bring on. We've got probably a dozen or so clients that have been with us for many, many years. Great relationships. We know their family. They know our family. Pretty easygoing client relationships. They fulfill their end, we fulfill our end, and everything's great. Sometimes we get new clients who have expectations of what we offer and what we don't offer, and they have what they want done in their head, and we have what we do in our head. And so it'd just be good to have something on paper So that way, when we provide a service, they're not expecting something totally different than what we're actually offering, or vice versa. In addition, we've had some clients do several last-minute cancellations. That was fine when it was just my wife and I doing the cleaning, but now that we have employees, we have schedules, they have hours they need to get, it throws everything off. And we don't want to hurt our employees' incomes by our clients pulling last-minute cancellations. So we're thinking of putting something into practice, like a welcome packet, or something with our expectations of what we're going to offer, what they can expect from us. But I don't really want to get into locking people into a contract or using that type of language, because I feel like that may turn away some of the people in the residential market feeling that they may be stuck in that type of agreement.
Okay, great. First of all, I love that question in that I kind of coach some of my one-on-one and the elite folks on that often. So I know that that's something not just on your mind, Derek, but on those of the listeners. So let's dive in and talk about that. First of all, in my opinion, your gut instinct is 100% on point. I am not a fan of big long. I don't even like contracts, and certainly I wouldn't call it a contract. For us in our world, I would call it a service agreement, which is really what it is. And you're exactly right. For me, the service agreement is got three purposes, and none of them are legal, right? Let's start with that and work backwards. The only time I ever want a quote unquote contract that I'd have my attorney review and pay thousands of dollars to get it hammered out is if I'm going to take it to court, right? If you and I are going to do something, Derek, and you agree and I agree and write it down and sign it, that is kind of if it's never going to go to court and we're always just going to use that document. Well, I thought you said this. Well, I thought you said that. Let's check the document. Oh, yep, you were right, Derek. We're going to go your way. We can just write. We don't need a lawyer. The time we need a lawyer is when you go, hold on, I don't think so. Oh, I don't think so. Well, I think the thing says this. Well, I think it says that. All right, we're going to court. Okay, now you absolutely want to have the legal protections of an attorney writing it up in a way that another attorney can't tear it apart, right? Because if I just write something up and you hire an attorney, he's going to rip my stuff apart. I don't know how to do that. The good news is, commercial residential, with rare exception, and I'll mention that exception, you're never going to go to court, right? If they, you kind of have a deal that you're going to clean, they're going to pay you, and if they stop paying, you'll stop cleaning, and if you stop cleaning, they'll probably stop paying, right? So at no point are you going to go to court and be like, you signed a 1-year contract, and you're going to let me in my house, in your house, and you're going to pay me to, like, if they don't want you, you're out. Ain't no contract in the world going to kind of fix that. And then vice versa, right? If you don't want them as a client, they can't be like, you guaranteed you'd clean this house, and I don't care if there's vomit all over the floors and my dog's biting. If you want out, you're out. If they want out, they're out. So let's not play games and have a contract that like kind of pretends that we've got this locked in deal. Is that fair?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, for all the commercial folks out there listening, there is one kind of exception where that might be the case. If you're a larger commercial company, you're doing maybe a $150,000, over a 6-figure contract per year or more, and you invest in materials specifically for that. You might say, hey, in good faith, I want to take care of you, and it's going to take a full-time person and a $50,000 worth of equipment, and we're only going to do that if you sign a year-long contract. That might be the time where you're actually going to need a real contract. And even then, if they don't want you, you can't kick down the door and start cleaning, right? If they don't want you, you're out. So even then, and talk to, of course, consult with your lawyer, but I would put in a liquidation clause. Like, we'll be out within 30 days, but if you fire us within a full month, you owe us $42,000, right? Because we hired a guy. You've got to somehow offset this fact that we invested all of this into your company and you haven't paid it. Maybe, 3 months in, that 42,000 is 32, so some sort of kind of diminishing thing where at 12 months or whatever the contract would have been, they can get out for free. But always put a way to get out, because at no point is there any way that you can force your way into their building and demand to clean it. And there's no such thing as slave labor, right? They can't make you come clean if you don't want to clean. So always go into it with that. So are we cool on the legal side, Derek?
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Cool. So the second piece would be marketing. I want this to be even a follow-up. Actually, we'll come to that last, and we'll go from the most boring to the least boring. So the most boring is illegal. Done. Checked off. The second most boring is, you touched on it, and this is really important. This should be done in the sales process, and it should certainly be done in a service agreement. A clear distinction of this is what we're going to do, and equally, if not more important, this is what we are not going to do. Or if you're a big greedy jerk like me, this is what we're going to do, and this is what we're not going to do, unless you give us more money, in which case we're happy to do so. I like that even better, right? So we're not going to do your windows for this price, because what I don't want to do is if I've got a client that says, hey, Mike, I'm in the whatever program that you're helping. I want more. Can I fly down there, and will you take a day or two with me for and just walk me through it? Well, if they're just a regular Clean Profit Method member, I'm not, I can't do that for the rate that is. But I'm not just going to go, hey, pound sand. I might go, yeah, I got 2 days at this time. If you can fly down, here's my daily rate. So we certainly want to communicate, yes, the services that we won't do, right? If you say, hey, come to my house and move in and run this thing for me, I don't know. There's not really an amount of money that's going to compel me to do that. So that would be in my won't do category. And then I've got my will do, but not for the money that you're paying. And then I've got this is what's included. Yeah. So yes, I would absolutely communicate that in a very clear manner. And I always like good, better, best options, certainly on the residential side, right? So if you just want it, once a month and bare minimum, it's this much. If you want it twice a month, then we're going to do this and give you a back rub and, wash your dog and whatever you want. Here's this price. And then if you want the ultimate where we come in and, we repaint the whole thing inside and out every, I'm just kidding. But you want to have a good, better, best option. And you'll find that approximately 10% of the people are just going to take the best. That's who they are, right? They're the guy or gal at the gas station. They got the 87 octane, the 89 octane, the 91 octane. They don't know nothing about nothing. They don't care nothing about nothing. They're going to take the 91 because it's the best. It's the most expensive. That's what they want. So, if you don't offer that, that revenue is lost. So, number one, let's cover ourselves legally, which because of the nature of the business we're in, very nominal exposure. Number two, let's clearly communicate what we're going to do, what we're not going to do, and most importantly, what we'll do, but for extra money. So when they call and go, hey, will you do this? It's kind of a jerk move to go, sorry, customer, don't care. Right? Like if you call after this podcast, you're like, Mike, I really like it. I need more help. But sorry, buddy, we did the podcast, I couldn't care less. That's not good. I want to have something to offer you, because I want money, but more importantly, if you need more help, I want to help you. Same with your people, right? Hopefully you're trying to give them back time with their families or change their lives or make their lives better. And if they want more of that, you don't just be like, sorry, we don't do that. Any questions on that before we hit the most exciting number 3?
Yeah. So, we have our typical tasks that we do, on a regular cleaning, but, I'm thinking like add-on things like interior of appliances. So that's what you're talking about. Have just little add-on prices.
Yeah, yes, you could do that. I'm a bigger fan of, my favorite thing in business is recurring revenue. I don't like hey, let me call you and pitch you. I mean, not that I won't, but let me call you. Actually, I don't, but if I owned a cleaning company, I would have a system to call and pitch you this or pitch you that. But I'd rather just say, hey, instead of saying, hey, I'll come, hey, we're here. We've got a special. It's usually $25 to clean your fridge. We'll do it for 15. Okay, maybe that's somewhat compelling. I'd rather just say we're gonna, instead of paying $200, and I'm just making these numbers up, instead of paying $200 a month and we do A, B, and C, it's $250. But twice a year we clean your carpets. Quarterly we do your fridge. Every other quarter we do your stuff, your oven. We're going to do a deep clean to get all your dog hair out once a month. Whatever you want to do, I like that on an annualized basis. Which is going to keep them longer, right? Because now you've got more pain of disconnect. Maybe you might, and I'm just making up examples, but in the commercial world, and this will work in residential, we'll change your light bulbs. We'll change your air filters, for your air conditioning. Stupid stuff that they're going to forget, but you can systematize because you've got 100 customers. People will absolutely pay for that. So instead of a one-off, like, give me $12.18 and we'll change that light bulb. That's weird. Just get it monthly where, and you can literally increase your entire billings by 10, 15% if you just give that offer company wide. Hey, if everyone that's at 250 wants to go up to 280, we're going to do A, B, and C. They love it. Did that answer your question?
Exactly. Yeah, that's great.
Okay, so clarity on what we're going to do and not going to do and what we'll do for more money, all very important. So then when someone calls in or asks your cleaner, hey, would you mind doing this? Instead of being the jerk that's like, nope, we do this, and this. It's our policy. Couldn't care less about you. That hurts feelings. They can go, of course, we'd love to do that. And as you probably remember when we first signed on, it's this package. I'd love to get you up there right now. Right. And now all of a sudden we've turned I'm asking for help and I'm being told to bugger off to a upsell situation of not only am I happy, but you now have just, increased your revenue every month. And I would empower my salespeople, my cleaners to do that. And I'd probably give them the first month difference, right? So if they got someone from a $230 contract up to a $260 contract, that first $30 is theirs, right? And then I'm going to keep the recurring revenue. Cool. Does that answer everything in that universe?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, I've been yakking too long, and we're already running long. And the most exciting part is what I've kind of been holding for last. I would use that service agreement as, and we kind of touched on this, as more of a marketing piece, more of a communication. So I want to reinforce how much better your life's going to be as a client of my company. So that's what, maybe it came from a referral, maybe it came from my website, maybe I sent you a piece of direct mail, maybe whatever, you heard that, and the message should have been, this is not, you give me money and I'll clean your toilet, low wage. It should have been, here's how your life's going to be better with my company as a part of it. And then you're going to continue that in the sales presentation. If you're going face to face, a lot of the conversation is going to be, tell me exactly about where does it hurt? Well, gosh, I feel guilty looking at those dishes and not playing with my kids. And I feel guilty doing this. And I work so hard and I just want to call, you get their pain. And then you explain to them how your product or service can solve that pain. The last thing we want to do is they're most happy is right when they paid, right? Because in their mind, they've solved that pain. If you've done a good job, you've got them in touch with that pain. I don't want to say convince them, but they understand that you can solve that pain for them. They're happy as clams. Boom, here's a service agreement with a bunch of legalese and, 3 pages telling you, we're not going to do this. And if you're late, we're doing that. It's like, and they've kind of like, oh, I thought I was buying this and now I'm buying that. So it's really important that service agreement is the same message you've been giving. You don't want to switch gears and all of a sudden like, oh, now I've got your credit card, sucker. It's on right now. We're like a real company. We're going to start hammering you. Like, could you imagine if you signed up for my one-on-one client, I got your credit card number and I'm like, all right, Derek, now that you've done this, here's a 42-page agreement. You're going to have to do this for a year and you're going to have to name, your first kid, Mike, and blah. You're like, what happened? Where's the friendly Mike on the podcast? When did this jerk show up? So that's important. And to answer the question they asked earlier, well, how do I communicate to them our policies and our procedures? What most people want to do is give them a 3-page document of, if you show up late, we're going to do this. And here's if you have to have your dog put away. If you don't put your dog away, he might get out. And if you bite somebody, we're going to do that. And here, there's all this kind of, I don't want to say nonsense, but not even fine print, because some of it's important. Like, where's the key going to go? Are you going to be home? Do we keep the key? Do you hide it? What's going on here? But the problem is if you give this 9-page boring document, no one's going to read it, right? Not that I wouldn't do that, but I wouldn't count on it. So I'd give them the document, and let me give you just kind of 2 ways to write it. Here's the legalese way. We take no responsibility for pets. If your pet escapes, bites somebody or whatever, we will sue you, blah, blah, blah. You're like, that's no fun. If you say, we love your pets, and it would really make us sad if your pet got out because we were there, and God forbid he got hit by a car, we wouldn't be able to sleep at night, and you'd probably want to wring our necks. To avoid that situation, we ask that or require, whatever your policy is, we require that all pets be put up in this area. You see what I'm saying? So there's 2 ways to write it. One is, I got to sound professional, which translates into I kind of sound like a jerk and alienate my customer. Another one is, hey, we love our cleaners, and you're going to love our cleaners. And you can feel really good about contributing to your community. This isn't money that's going down a hole. You're helping me and my family eat, and the people that come to clean, they know that you pay their salary, and you're sending their kids to college and making a better life for them. And we appreciate the crap out of them. That said, if you cancel, it can really screw up their budget and our time, and we don't give as good a service to everybody else. So we don't want you to cancel. But if you do, we understand there is a $45 fee that goes right to see how that's different than cancellations must be called within 48 hours. If you're late in 48 hours, you will be charged. It's like, whoa. So it's not as much what you say, it's how you say it. And just big asterisk.
Yeah, why it's there.
Yeah, and if you just in ways that they get it, they're like, you're human communicating to a human, not trying to sound like some lawyer. And the last thing is, if you do the billing like I coach you to do, not you, but the universe, you won't have this problem anyway, because you'll bill up front for the whole month, and you'd be shocked when people have paid in advance for the cleaning, how reschedules or cancellations almost vanish, right? They're like, I haven't paid for it, I won't be here, I'll save 60, whatever. All of a sudden it's real easy. But if they just pay in advance, you'd be shocked at how infrequently they'll cancel when they've already paid for it. All right, so the 2 ways you're going to do that is, one, of course, you can put some sort of welcome packet to them. Just make sure it's written in a way like we talked about. Lots of white space, no fine print. I'd rather see 3 or 4 or 5 pages with pictures or icons or graphics, lots of white space, bullet points, not fine, you know what I'm saying? Then one, 8-point font, all, small type, no pictures on one page, right? Make it 3 or 4 or 5 pages and make it look friendly, like something they want to consume, not this
Sure.
evil thing. Then in addition, one of the things that now this gets into marketing, I'm always coaching folks. We want to be communicating all the time, right? Instead of just people come to our website, call them out for a free estimate. It's like, hey, 7 ways to buy back time with your kids, or not buy back, get back precious time with your kids you'll never get back. Oh, I'm interested. Now I'm going to download that. Once I download that, you might say, hey, here's a cool app we found that helps capture those moments. It's pictures, right? Having nothing to do with cleaning. You're just educating me on that subject. And then of course you might say, hey, we do cleaning. If that was one of the ways, if you want to know how your life could be 12% better and you can get more time with your kids, here's how to do that. And you're going to kind of constantly be educating them. Well, as soon as they become customers, that continues, right? So you might have, hey, I'm going to give you this right now, but over the next week, we're going to give you 5 emails, each email telling you how you can get more out of your cleaning service, right? You're paying the same thing, whether you get all of the benefits or none of the benefits. And then over those 3 or 4 or 5 emails, an indoctrination sequence, I'm going to reiterate each of the pieces in there. Put your pets away. Don't reschedule. Make sure that, whatever I'm trying to communicate, I'm going to do it in the context of here's how to get the most out of your service, not here's a bunch of rules we made to make our life easier. It's a subtle difference, but it's important. Does that make sense?
That's great.
Okay, cool. I could rant on this till the cows come home, but I want to give a chance for you to go to lightning round. Do you have any other questions or feedback or needs before we hit the lightning round?
Nope, that's good for me.
Beautiful. Let's do this, man. 3 quick questions. You're going to give 3 amazing answers that'll help you kind of squeeze all the brain juice out of you and get it to the listeners. Question number 1, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received, either personally or professionally?
Always be learning, and you can learn something from anyone.
Yes, I love that. And another way to say you can learn something from everyone is learn a lot from the people that do stuff right, and learn even more from the guys or gals that screw stuff up, right? If you see some, you're like, oh, that's the worst. That's a great lesson, right? If you're like, I would never want to do that for my client, write that down. All right, question number 2. Speaking of learning from other people, especially on things that we don't like, what's the biggest mistake you've made in the cleaning business so we can go, ooh, I don't like that. I don't want to have that happen to me, and I'm gonna save myself the headache.
Hiring from a position of desperation too quickly.
Oh, I call that warm body syndrome, where you're like, I know this guy or gal next to me is not the right human being, but I fear that if I don't hire him or her, houses won't get cleaned or I'll be out there cleaning. You're right. That's an absolute awful place to hire from. It always feels like it's going to save time at the beginning, and man, that bill comes due and it's not good. Not physical bill, but the bill of hiring that wrong person when they blow up or kick a dog or yell at, do whatever crazy thing you thought, I've seen everything. And then you're like, oh, I guess I hadn't. It's the worst. All right. Great feedback. And then last question, what's one idea or just something that Cleaning Nation could put into practice right away? Something easy to implement, doesn't have to be life-changing, just make their life or their business better in a little bit, right? Doesn't have to be revolutionary, just easy to implement right now that can make their life a little bit better.
Dovetailing on the last question, don't be afraid of making a mistake. I heard a quote, I think it might have been from John Maxwell or some other book I read. Sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. I like that. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. I'm absolutely stealing that. But I didn't hear it from John Maxwell. I heard it from Derek Hart. So I'm going to start ascribing. Right. I'm going to just claim it was you, buddy. Derek, thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you for your passion and your energy and your questions and your feedback. I really appreciate it. I know that Cleaning Nation appreciates it. Cleaning Nation, speaking of constantly learning, if you love this and you want more and you want to take your business to the next level, we have so many resources, including Derek's show notes page. It's all at growmycleaningcompany.com, growmycleaningcompany.com. Check it out right now. I will see you there.
Congratulations! You are now 16% smarter. Still can't get enough cleaning goodness? Go to www.growmycleaningcompany.com for more of the good stuff. Ever want to be rich and famous? Owners of cleaning companies as well as industry experts can apply to be featured on the show by emailing our producer Natalie at support@growmycleaningcompany.com. Until then, don't miss out on all the latest cleaning industry lovin' at www.growmycleaningcompany.com. Check it out now.